première ligne. In der Front. In prima linea.
Hi, and welcome to this episode of In the Frontline with your future navigator, Karl McFaul, standing here in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, at the SOCAP 16 conference. This is the world's leading conference on social enterprise, impact investing, and societal innovation by bridging money and meaning.
Two other billionaires tell us that we had to leave the room. This was not a concept. They could not imagine investing in all of us while investing in themselves. Everybody in our community believes that challenges that we face today come from perilous separation. Commons was separate. They had the legacy of two-pocket thinking, Milton Friedman, neoliberal thinking, and they could only think about their return. They couldn't think about anything else, and they couldn't think about giving in the same room. Not knowing where our food came from or how it was raised or who raised it before it ends up on our plate and where the waste goes at the end of the meal or what's happening to our money in a mutual fund when it's spinning around the world and whether it's causing harm or good. And we are about reconnecting investors and entrepreneurs. So when we brought those things together, we were heretical. We were social capital and added market that social capital people hated, and we added social to capital market. So we were intentionally heretical and apologetic to some people that ought to meet up. And so we caused those two silos to come together.
We have the whole range of different disciplines and expertise and communities here. Everyone from indigenous farmers from Africa to, family offices and Omidyar and foundations and Goldman Sachs. We have everybody and everyone in between. It's a very broad community. I think we have over 2,500 people here. And the conversations that happen are always, very, very oriented toward how are we going to solve this together in a spirit of collective inquiry. And sharing and cooperation, I feel, is a very important dynamic of this community that is, in the impact investing field. And this is a gathering place for a lot of us on an annual basis.
What is happening in Silicon Valley right now? Somebody said to me yesterday, being in Silicon Valley right now, it must have been like being in Florence during the Renaissance.
That's right. There you go.
This event is about leadership for global impact. How it all started is that we've been collaborating with a group of amazing Nordic social innovators, mayors, entrepreneurs, investors.
I'm here this week with a startup from Sweden. They have developed a virtual digital health room which can practically be everywhere on the countryside in any remote location. And they're working with Microsoft and Ericsson right now with 5G and other tech.
We are building something called Regen Villages all around the world. Regen Villages is the Tesla of eco-villages. So we're redefining residential real estate development by creating off-grid neighborhoods. Food, water, energy, and waste management, all at the neighborhood scale.
So, get ready and go. Ooh, okay. Well, you're going to start.
I'm going to say this word scale is overloaded and means less than we hope it does, and often is associated with building more offices and bigger teams and not building more leverage or greater social return on the model. It's certainly a word we're guilty of using, but we focus much more on that question of impact and evidence to take that impact forward in bigger and larger ways in the future, less on maybe traditional definitions of scale.
The main thing is culture and how we think, right? Because we will create what we think. We will create how we think about things. That is exactly what we're going to create. We have created this system because we think that humans are better than all other species and that we run this place, and then we think in this hierarchy, and then there's men are better than women and white people are better than people of color, and there's all these hierarchies, and we have created a system based on exactly that. So when we look at our system honestly, I think we have got to change the way we think.
And the top lever of systems change that she names is the mindset out of which the system arises. Because we then will design a system that supports that mindset about what we believe about who we are and about what's fair. And then we design institutions that support those systems. And then we design policies and procedures that support those institutions and those systems.
This model describes evolution of systems, from simple to complicated to complex to chaotic. We talk about complexity all the time. What is complexity? Why is it important? What can happen if we don't acknowledge the complex nature of our work? The natural human reaction is to simplify it and to treat it as a simple system. That's what many dictators do. They say, okay, our complicated humane laws don't work, we'll just kill all the people who don't agree. And an important thing to understand about simple systems is that root cause effect in these systems is predictable, so you can suggest best practice and that will work. When you move to complicated stuff, you have multiple ways to do certain things, and you probably need a lot of expert advice. You need data analysis to do that, maybe, right? But root cause effect is still predictable. So like build an airplane is a complicated task, it's not simple. But still, you know that you apply science, you apply this expertise, and you will get the result. But when you move to the complexity area, that becomes really different. Because root cause effect is not predictable by nature. It may be because of the too many factors, like financial markets, for example. And most of our social systems are complex. And the problem with social systems that are complex is that we cannot just go to an expert or to the person at the top. The first productive thing to do here is to acknowledge that nobody, no single person can have the right answer. But it's actually the system itself in its entirety that holds the answer to what the right solution might be to your problem. And how to get this answer from the system? You identify key stakeholders and engage those stakeholders in creating the solution.
If you use tools well, you can make such a difference. And so again, 30 years on Wall Street, I ran the largest sell-side global research organization in the world at UBS. And I had hundreds and hundreds of analysts and strategists and economists telling me that they know everything about everything. And I would call them into my office and say, I care more about what you don't know than about what you know. Because if you tell me you have all the answers, I will guarantee that you're either lying or you're stupid. Get out of my office.
Humanity's chosen a predominance toward fear and divisiveness and scarcity when we have the capacity to create and love and share. So, how do we bring these feelings of collective intelligence, sharing, community, empathy, concern to the worlds of finance and economics and solving the problems of the world?
The mindset that is the status quo is holding on dearly because a wave is coming. It's coming up on the sand, and they're holding on for life. I do believe that the wave is going to come and wash away all the madness, and we will have the world that we really want. So yes, ultimately, I have a lot of hope.